Hey you guys, welcome to today's reading. So today I'm going to be reading on Miss Tina Knowles. And I'm not even going to lie to y'all, I was kind of going back and forth on whether or not I want to read her. Going into this reading, I'm still on the fence about reading her. I don't really care for her energy too much, but I have some questions about how does she feel around her son-in-law as well as her daughter now that the Epstein files have become public record. And so there's a lot of discourse in the news reporting on her son-in-law being in the alleged Epstein files. And I just want to tap in to see how does she feel about it. Does she believe it? Does she know anything about whether or not there's some truth to it? And also, how does she feel about her daughter's involvement if she is involved, allegedly? So we're going to be tapping into that. And as always, all things said today in this reading are alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Her energy is crowning her now that the Epstein files are public with his name in them. All right, so we have groupie, ego, hurt ego, people getting in the way of relationship, Queen rising, glowing up loud, all eyes on her, coming up spotlight. All right, and then a couple cards popped up, marrying for money, fishing for comments. I'm laughing because as I was shuffling, because at first it was giving the energy of blaming girls for being fast, but then it switched to if you guys have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta and are familiar with Candy and Todd, I think it was Mama Joyce that said that it was a scheme that Todd set up. That's what I heard when I put the cards down. So she could be feeling like the allegations in the files are just a scheme to get the people talking, to give them bad press, and allegedly these girls wouldn't be in these situations if they weren't being hot and being fast. That's literally the energy I'm getting currently for her as a result of these files coming out to the public the way that it did. It just feels like blaming to me, in my opinion. That's what it feels like. And then we have fake accounts lurking on socials, can't stop watching you. And she has been accused in the past of having burner accounts. So I'm just going to leave it at that for her. But this, yeah, it just feels very blaming. If that's a word. I don't know if that's a word, but like blaming the victims. It feels like allegedly. That's the energy that's crowning her right now. But let's see how does she feel about her son-in-law though? How does she feel about him with these files coming out the way that they did? How does she feel about? All right, so we have cyberbully, online attacks, hiding behind screens, words can still wound. Unfazed, doesn't care. And then we have, what is this? Once you bag, didn't know what they're worth, desperate, making it rain, focus on the bag, money is the mission. So again, it's still that same type of energy where her perception of him allegedly has not changed. It just feels like he's under attack. He's under scrutiny. They want to come for him. I just heard because he's a black man in the industry, he just wants to focus on making his money. But this also makes me question, like, do you know him as well as you think you do? It's just, for me, it's like assumptions being made. I don't know, I'm just really surprised that he really doesn't care too much about what's being said in the allegations. She still sees him the same as a son-in-law, that he's just a black man trying to make it out here, and the system is trying to bring him down. That's what it feels like, allegedly. How does she view her daughter's marriage to Jay now that the allegations have come out? How does she view their marriage? All right, then we have hooked. I heard she ain't going nowhere. Into you, good chemistry, great vibes, pure intentions. Fully karmic friends, can't fully trust them, always some tension. I have something to say about that card, but I want to pull one more. All right, then scarcity tactics. How she views their relationship is that her daughter's not going anywhere. I did see some press that allegedly Beyonce was considering getting divorced, but they were just kind of working on the PR side of how they were going to announce it. Again, don't know how true that is, but that's just been on the rumor mill. But how her mother at least views the relationship is that she doesn't fully trust Jay-Z, of course. And then I wanted to come back to this card because I also heard that we know he cheats. Like, I literally heard that we know he cheats. But she views it as her daughter's stuck with him. She's going to stay with him no matter what. They have good vibes, good chemistry. She knows he cheats. They know what they got themselves into. And then the marrying for money, I wanted to point that out because, again, an agreement, allegedly, between all parties about this union. And then we have scarcity tactics. So he could be allegedly threatening her. There could be some threats made about lifestyle changes. She may not have a prenup, but it would be a very nasty divorce. But she doesn't think they're going to separate, though. She doesn't. She just thinks he has, a bad reputation. But her daughter, at least from her perspective, isn't going anywhere. I was getting, like, multiple images a minute, like just now, because I was getting like drugging, and then I heard handler, like the mother is a handler. Yeah, I just feel like she wouldn't want her to leave anyways because it could disrupt what they have going on. Let's see what other cards come out for the oracle cards. I'm gonna keep the general, how she's feeling, how the situation as a whole as it relates to the release of the Epstein files. How does she feel? Screenshot caught in 4K. Bad habits, repeating mistakes, can't break the loop. That's an interesting card. Didn't I say drugged up a second ago? Child services actually came up twice, but it came out for real this time because it was at the bottom of the deck. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes, there is probably some truth to those files. And the truth that she knows is not what was in the files. It may have been something that happened years ago, or may have happened a couple of times over the years as it relates to alleged those that can't take care of themselves. Because we have the repeating mistakes, then we have the drugs and the denial, and then we have caught in 4K. So again, it could be something where he has been caught up, or they are very well aware of what he has participated in and been involved in over the years that they have been together. She definitely knows some stuff, and that's why I said at the beginning of the reading, as far as those files go, she didn't really take it. She doesn't take it as seriously what we see in the press and what came out from, what was it, 1994, 96. She's not taking that seriously because it's still giving that blaming energy. But does she know some truth to some situations that are similar, dealing with those that can't take care of themselves? Yes. For entertainment purposes only, again. I keep saying that because those are serious allegations. Yeah, she knows some stuff though, because I'm also getting the visual of Foxy Brown. She was around 14, 15 around the time him and her were working together and they had some type of relationship. So yeah, she knows some stuff. And her own daughter was young when her and him allegedly started dating, and I heard arrangements. So yeah, she knows how he gets down. She do. Caught a case, sexual disease, rash. I just heard sexual energy. And then look, always partying. No time for you. Them parties. And then we have grudge holder. So as I was looking at grudge holder, I was pointing to can't fully trust them. She knows. She knows how he is. You know, she's not going to interrupt what they have going on just because she knows. I heard blind eye, like turning a blind eye. This card came out at the bottom several times, but now it's coming out. So talking shit, gossip behind your back, spreading lies, smiling in your face. So behind closed doors, she may be putting on a smile in front of her son-in-law, allegedly, and her daughter, like, hee hee, you know, this is cute, love y'all, whatever. But behind their back, she probably be going in about the situation to whoever she can confide in that has an NDA. I'm hearing backhanded compliment. She just gives me like messy auntie a little bit. Like I just heard couldn't hold a glass of water, couldn't hold a cup of water because she talks so much. She probably tells whoever she can confide in all the different things that goes on. Maybe not like completely, but she voices her issues with somebody or other persons about how she really feels. I was seeing like girl, you won't believe this. Like that's the energy I'm getting. So yeah, Tina probably be going off about what they got going on over there to her 1, 2, 3 friends that she can talk to about these issues. But again, she knows some stuff though. She definitely knows some stuff. Like I said, maybe not everything, but she knows some things with an S. So, all right, so now we're going to move on to the tarot cards, and we're going to start with her current energy now that the Epstein files have been released. We're going to just pretty much go from the top and work our way down. And then we have Goddess of Wands, and then we have the Supreme. Ooh, so this is her current energy around the release of the files and how she feels. I don't even think I need to pull a hopes and fears for her because it feels like she's worrying about a truth about this couple that's going to come out, or some agreements about this man. I feel like she's worried about divine justice, what that's going to look like for them. I want to clarify this Queen of Wands though, so we can get the full message of what she's feeling right now. All right, so we have Knight of Cups or Son of Cups, and then we have Four of Wands. Yeah, she is worried about some of this. Ooh, what is her sexual prowess? The truth about his sexual prowess coming out. News about not only his sexual prowess, but the household, the family, the stability, the family home, essentially, and the stability of said family is going to come out. The truth about money woes. I know it's not a pentacle here, but there's something about the stability of the family that she's worried about the truth will come out about. What Spirit gave me and what I'm going to say are going to be two different things just because this is YouTube. But I heard selling, the word that begins with a G and ends with an S, is plural. Selling selling them. It's something to do with their stability and offers he's made to people. And I know that Beyonce and Tina are both earth signs, but the Queen of Wands could be somebody that's very visible. That could be a celebrity. But in this case, I'm getting the energy of not only selling the G word that ends with an S, but also like your wife, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. This independent woman, the truth about her finances. I heard sealing the deal. Didn't they have a song called Upgrade You? Yeah, I remember something about closing the deal in that song. If you look up the lyrics, I won't sing it, but something along those lines if you listen to the song. And even as I'm looking at the Supreme, it said God said yes. Yeah, they in trouble. Daughter of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, again, family money, how they set up the generational wealth. And then we have Ten of Swords, a betrayal, and then we have Nine of Wands. It feels like with these cards that she did sit back and just kind of watch everything build up over the years. She wasn't going to say anything, and that's why the blind eye to me came up, because although she had either suspected or she knew about certain things that took place, about how money was coming through and acquired, I feel like when she knew the truth about what really was going on, she was betrayed about it. She felt some type of guilt behind it, like they betrayed her because they weren't telling her the whole truth. Because she's coming out as the Nine of Wands, so like a wounded warrior, where she fought the good fight and she's still standing. That is her, I'm gonna stick beside him. So that's why I said she knows some stuff. Maybe not everything, but she definitely knows some things. She definitely knows some things about the money too. And that's why she's not tripping too much about it, because it would impact her. That is her for the love of money. So how does she feel about her son-in-law? Let's go back to that question. How does she feel about her son-in-law? Ooh, Temperance. That's a Sagittarius. Yeah, about her son-in-law. All right, Ace of Cups. I just heard learn to love him. The onset of the relationship and the arrangement, allegedly, you know, she was okay. She was cordial with him, but she had to learn to love him. But she knew that he was very secretive. Very, very secretive. Very, yeah, I'm hearing charismatic, but secretive. Secretive is like literally coming out like that, like secretive. I put emphasis on that. In the situation, although he was secretive, it was going to be a wish fulfilled for them, because it was going to bring success, fulfillment, a family, 10 of Cups. Yeah. And then we have Six of Swords. I feel like Tina is also in agreement that when Lemonade, around that time when that came out, her daughter should have left. Her daughter definitely should have left around that time, but she didn't. So they're all stuck as a family. They continued on. And there was a sacrifice. You know, we have the Hangman. And I just heard tolerate. So she tolerates the marriage, allegedly. I mean, it doesn't give me like they're close. I don't think I was really expecting that, but just feel like tolerate for the sake of the family, and then I also heard for the sake of the kids, and also heard for the sake of the money. I'm curious to know, how does she feel about her daughter being married to him? How does she feel about her daughter being married to him? All right, we have the Sun and the Star, and then we have God of Swords. Okay, so again, she's worried about this truth coming out, being exposed about them. She's also worried about the justice system and legally what implications that could have on their marriage. We have God of Swords, which can represent the justice system, intelligence. I heard FBI. Yeah, she's definitely worried about this truth coming out about certain things about this husband that could affect the daughter, because she's married to him, and by proxy, that will impact her and her career. And then also the legal implications as well. I'm also getting the visual of the Osefos from Real Housewives of Potomac, Wendy and her husband Eddie. Not only are they married, but they were committing fraud together. And I'm not saying that that's what's going on here, but they're basically going on trial together. They're not being tried separately. And so I was getting the visual of them being tried together. So again, the God of Swords, the justice system, legal implications. If he goes down legally, it could implicate the Virgo as well, allegedly. That's what she's looking at as far as the daughter's marriage. That's her perspective. All right, so what's challenging Tina with this news? What's with the Epstein file news? Card fell out. Challenging her would be Six of Wands, Five of Swords, and then the Moon. This was challenging her. She knows it's going to be a short victory. The PR, the press around this situation is being handled, as we've seen, where there are outlets that are not even reporting on this situation at all. A lot of people are glossing over it. I would say notably even TMZ, and TMZ's own Harvey Levin was implicated as well in the file, so they're not even reporting on it either. But they are, I heard PR. So yeah, I feel like they're trying to create a PR strategy around this, how they're going to handle this situation publicly, because there are secrets, how they're going to keep their secrets are intact. But the conversations behind closed doors, this is challenging her, because I keep hearing like, not nagging, but y'all should have knew better, from her perspective, like telling, I don't know who she's talking to, but why did y'all do that? Why did you do, like, I just feels like arguing type of energy, complaining, nagging type of energy from her perspective. Like, we can do this to keep it under control, but y'all gotta fix this. That's what I'm energetically feeling from her. Probably raising hell over there on that side of how this should be managed. Handler came up again in my mind. How they're gonna handle her daughter now that this has come to the forefront. Oh, the Hermit, Three of Swords, her daughter, 4 of Cups. All right, so hopes and fears for her, because we have the Hermit, which represents her daughter, the Virgo, and then we have Three of Swords, Four of Cups, and then we have Six of Cups. Let me pull this up so y'all can see it. But it just feels like she's worried that her daughter is not going to leave again, because she knows how he is from the past. It feels like she's worried that her daughter is not going to take the offer to get out of there, because the past could come up, and she's repeating the same cycles. Maybe not to this extent, but she had an out to leave before a couple of times. But now she fears that her daughter is going to be heartbroken, but she's not going to leave. Because Spirit keeps pointing at this card here. Four of Cups, unrequited offer. It's your chance to leave. It's your chance to get out of it. Now, will she take it? We don't know that, but yeah, her mom's worried about that, though. Yeah, leaving the marriage, because I have the Hierophant at the bottom. Let's do a prediction for Tina in the near future. Oh, that popped out fast. Ooh. Cards come out swinging. We got Judgment. Then we have Son of Wands or Knight of Wands. Oh, the Chariot. And then Ace of Wands, a Son of Swords, or, ooh, okay, so y'all can see it. Because she's tied to this family, and as close as she is, because for me, and I might do a separate video on Matthew, because I think his reading is going to look a lot different from hers. But because she's so tied up in everything, and she, again, allegedly privy to some things that have been happening in secret, and she's aware of the comings and goings of this husband as a result of these files and other things that he has been tied to that may even come up again this year, because it makes some predictions about scandals coming up in the Beyonce reading. They may not be tied to the Epstein files, who knows, but there's going to be some scandals coming out about some sexual energy. I get more of like there's some messages that might be released, or some secret messages or something along that line. But for her, I predict that because she's so tied up in the family, as I mentioned over and over again, she is a matriarch essentially, she will get judged too. She will get judged too. I felt that in my chest, because I'm also hearing collateral, guilty by association. That's the word I was looking for. She will, like, Spirit just keeps saying she will be judged too, and she will also be cut off as well near future. That's interesting. But yeah, that's the one thing, if nothing else, the prediction cards gave me. Spirit keeps just saying she will be judged too. And it's her, she didn't speak up. She also didn't protect her daughter. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end it here. But yeah, I'm still thinking about doing a Matthew reading. If y'all want me to do it, let me know down in the comments. I may still do it anyways. I don't know. I need to think about that, like what I want to ask for him. I may ask the same things. I don't know. All right, well, that is it for real this time. Thanks for watching, you guys. Lands, I will see you in the next video. Bye.